Because it also depends what court you're on, that you feel the noise and thing.
So the other day with Eala, that's been a talk.
I'm really happy to advance to the next round. Obviously, it's not in the way I wanted it to end.
Indian Wells 5th deuce, 3rd set, 12th game, Indian Wells. Eala just saved match point, and the crowd inside that stadium stopped being a tennis crowd entirely. Dramatic pause, music drop. This isn't a feel-good story about a girl from the Philippines chasing her dream. This is something the WTA has never seen before. And it started not in California. It started in Mallorca, Spain, with Rafael Nadal, November 19th, 2025, exactly 1 year after Rafael Nadal retired from professional tennis.
Another wonderful win for Alexandra Eala. Thank you, Jasmine, she says. Paolini gracious as ever in defeat. The former champion is out. Alexandra Eala.
This is going to go down the wire, but because of the week off from Eala, I think that she might be able to cause the upset here. And Paolini is not playing that great. And unlike the Alexandrova match in Abu Dhabi, where Eala got overpowered,
he walked back onto a court, not for a charity match, not for a press event, not for a photo opportunity, for a 45-minute high-intensity training session with a 20-year-old girl from Quezon City, Philippines. Let that sink in. Nadal's tank was empty for professional competition. He said it himself on Universo Valdano. His competitive career was finished, done, over. And his very first return to high-intensity play? He gave it to Eala, not to a peer, not to a former rival, not to a Spanish prodigy, to her. And what did they work on for those 45 minutes? Her left-handed forehand. The same left-handed forehand that 4 months later, right here at Indian Wells, was cutting through Diana Yastremska's defense like a scalpel. Eala said it herself. We're both lefties. I loved how he fought on court. So I try to also channel that. That's not inspiration. That's not motivation poster language. That is tactical doctrine installed by a 22-time Grand Slam champion, specifically, deliberately, for her.
I feel like, people will like you for who you are if you are true to yourself. Hi everyone, I just wanted to come on here and thank every single one of you for your support, taking the time and effort out of your day to be there and cheer me on with the other girls. It means so much, especially at this time.
March 7th, 2026, BNP Paribas Open, Indian Wells, cold night, late session. Eala herself said the tennis balls felt heavier in the cold air. Her opponent, Diana Yastremska, Ukraine, world number 52. Hard hitter, dangerous draw. 163 minutes, 3 sets, pure war. Here's how Eala's game works against right-handed opponents like Yastremska. Her cross-court left-handed forehand produces a high-bouncing trajectory, lands directly on the opponent's backhand, forces defensive play, forces errors, forces exactly the breakdown Yastremska experienced in that 3rd set. But it wasn't clean. It was never clean. Eala fell to 4-5 in the deciding set, staring at elimination. So she shifted, deepened her returns, disrupted Yastremska's service rhythm, broke back to 5. 5 held at love for 6-5. And then, the final game, 5 deuces, back and forth, neither player giving a single inch until Eala closed it. 65 ranking points, $61,865 in prize money. Indian Wells round 2, done. But the match result? That was almost secondary to what was happening in the stands. California is home to approximately 2 million Filipino residents, the highest Filipino population of any state in the United States. And when Eala arrived at Indian Wells 2006, they showed up. Not just inside the stadium, everywhere. Her practice sessions on Court 6 became documented events. Fans with selfie sticks recording every single drill? Fans sitting on adjacent courts just to catch a glimpse of her training. 2 million people in the surrounding area. And they all knew she was here. Tournament officials at the 2026 BNP Paribas Open confirmed it directly. Eala is bringing a new demographic to this sport, increasing center court occupancy, expanding the WTA's reach into the Southeast Asian diaspora in real time. Right now, the phrase everybody is using is Filipino Army. But that phrase doesn't capture what's actually happening. This is measurable market disruption. The WTA is watching its demographic future play out in the California desert. And not everybody knows how to handle it. Because here's where it gets complicated. At the 2026 Australian Open, during Eala's match against Alicia Parks, the pro-Eala crowd was flagged by security, cheering at Parks' unforced errors, howling, creating what observers called a hostile environment. That tension sits right at the center of the Eala phenomenon. The same Filipino army that tournament officials credit for filling seats was the same crowd that broke sharply from traditional tennis etiquette. A fan base this large, this emotionally invested, this culturally distinct from the sport's historical audience, doesn't automatically conform to Wimbledon-era crowd norms, and no tournament director has publicly answered how to manage it. Not one. And then there's the internet. Claims of a $1.6 billion contract from Sheikh Mansour, a 10-year deal, $1 billion down payment, $600 million annually. Fact checkers confirmed. Complete fabrication. Never happened. Also fabricated, Djokovic boycotting ABC for Eala. Oprah Winfrey attacking her. None of it supported by a single verified report. Eala herself called it shocking. Here's what's actually real. Career earnings of $1,665,667. A Milo endorsement deal funding a full traveling team. Serious discussions underway about a WTA event in Manila. A round 3 match at Indian Wells against world number 4, Coco Gauff. The fabricated version of Eala is extraordinary. The real version is already more significant. Nadal chose her for his first return to the court. 2 million Filipinos showed up in California. The WTA is taking notes, and nobody has answered the real question yet. When a fan base this large and this passionate follows a player this talented into the upper levels of professional tennis, at what point does the crowd stop being an asset and start becoming a problem? Tell me what you think in the comments. And if you're not subscribed, you need to be here for what comes next. Because this story, it's only getting bigger.